Hi, this is David Slavick. I am here today with Peter Vogel from vPromos. Really excited to be visiting with Peter. This is going to be a short 5-minute video asking him 4 questions that he's already seen. So I know Peter is an expert at this, so I'm sure he's well prepared. But Peter, you want to share more about the company, yourself, the company's ICP, what the market position is, and basically why should companies call your company for the services that you provide?
For sure. Well, David, first of all, thank you for having me on. It's a
Pleasure.
and I always enjoy chatting with you and the insightful conversation. So happy to be here with you. And for those who don't know me or have not heard anything about our company, my name is Peter Vogel. I'm our Chief Revenue Officer. And vPromos or vLoyalty, we've actually gone by kind of both names over the last few years. We're a company that operates loyalty programs, a few kind of small, medium-sized business programs, and we have a focus on enterprise. So our largest client is Napa Auto Parts, and we've operated their program for about 12 years now. So we actually launched it back in 2013, I think it was. And they have 6,000 stores with 15 million members. So it's a very large program, and that's a big kind of focus of our company is continually optimizing a program that massive with that many members and a ton of data. So you can imagine we're getting hundreds of millions of transactions that we're tracking, analyzing all the time. We just launched Canada for them as well, which is a different organization, but it's the same branding, same technology. Obviously, the Canadian version is not as big as America. But the thing that's unique about us is that we have 5 industry patents, one of which is around the process of tokenization. So when you pay, you swipe your card, you tap, you use Google or Apple, however you do it. When that happens, we have a patent around the process of taking some of that payment card data, creating a token and storing it. And from that point forward, we can recognize that member and they never have to check in again. They don't have to use a QR code. They don't have to give their phone number to the counter person. So that it's a huge benefit, especially for people in the retail and restaurant space where the lines move so fast. Oftentimes the counter people never ask, are you in our rewards program? And we did a study actually with the Wise Marketer group about 6-7 months ago and found that out of 150 restaurant visits, only 6% of the time do the counter people actually ask, are you in our rewards program? Mm-hmm. So therefore you're missing the opportunity to get people to join. There's no awareness, there's no recognition of the program. And even if someone joined 6 months ago, a year ago, they forgot. And if you don't ask them, they're never going to check in again. So all the money you spent on registration rewards, effort, marketing is wasted. So for us, that automation of the rewards program by tracking is kind of a huge key component.
That's great. Talking about that many customers and that many transactions and a distributed model for Napa, combined with my own personal experience where I register my personal Chase debit card with restaurants, and then ultimately it's seamless and easy in the restaurant category. And I know that you spend a lot of time there. So you're talking about fast, millions of transactions, an understanding about the customer, and you're obviously supporting the back and forth in terms of communications and what their promotion or reward opportunities are. So that's really fantastic. And you're in the right space in terms of optimizing the return on investment, I'm sure. So you've given a couple of examples of clients. Did you want to expand on any one particular, something new, or things that you're sort of thinking about today and the way that you're evolving your platform? Because people always talk about your roadmap. Anything you want to share there?
So one of the things that comes up a lot with clients now is ROI or incremental spend. Mm-hmm. And we found that that's huge in the sense of getting buy-in from upper level management, from the C-level. A lot of people start loyalty programs and they feel like it's a must-have or keeping up with the Joneses. Someone else has a loyalty program, we have to have one. But when it comes down to actually really funding it or putting effort into it, whether it's man hours or actual just cash, running promotions, campaigns, et cetera, a lot of companies kind of stall. And that's because a program gets started and then they don't really have data behind it to prove what's happening. And so one of the things we've really been focusing on, and people ask us about all the time, is how to determine that ROI. And depending how integrated you are with some of your clients, one of the things we found the most powerful thing is if you can measure transactions from not just your loyalty members, but from the non-loyalty members. And say, for example, an average member spends $10, or let's say an average non-member spends $10, and the average member is spending $14 at each transaction. You can also tell how many transactions are happening per year. So if you have 10 million transactions a year and your members are spending an average $4 more per transaction, you can point to that and say, look, there's actually $40 million in incremental spend, not just spend. And that's the thing this is not just revenue. It's not just spend. It's incremental. It's what they're spending more than other people are, than the non-members. And in addition to that, the ability to track actual SKU level data is huge. With some of the partners, we can do that. Not everyone allows you that level of integration. But when you can actually track SKU level, you can do some pretty amazing campaigns where you can do SKU level based campaigns where someone gets bonus points based on buying a specific product on a specific day. You can feature brand new things. You can feature your highest margin items, whatever makes the most sense for your business. But that kind of ability to utilize that data for both campaigns, marketing, and ROI, we think is kind of what's leading the way right now with a lot of companies.
All good points, member versus non-member, or identified versus non-identified. Because you can have members that are identified that aren't in the program. So you actually have 3 comparative points. Members, because they've opted in, right? Exactly. And the other part is who's redeeming the reward, because you typically get an incremental lift when there's a redemption behavior. So lastly, last question, and we are past 5 minutes for those that are watching right now, but there's lots of great information. So thanks, Peter, so much from vPromos. Is any new advanced things that you're doing? Are you incorporating gamification? Everybody talks about agentic AI, things along that nature. Anything on the horizon that you want to share?
We've really been looking a lot at the mobile wallet space right now,
Okay.
with both Apple and with Google. And partly that's due to, we hear about mobile app fatigue a lot, not just in news and articles, but when we talk to members of our programs, a lot of people don't want another app. They don't want to have to open an app every time they go to a restaurant. They don't want to download a new version every 6 months. Mm-hmm. So the mobile app we find is a very intriguing, call it like a mobile app light, that someone doesn't have to install. It's already there. So Apple has vast value-added services. Google has, I think it's called Smart Tap. And both of those can essentially act as a loyalty program where if once you give Apple or Google permission, you've uploaded cards in there, you can pay that way. Once you pay at a place has enabled this, they can recognize you. And every time you come back, you don't have to enter your phone number, your name, anything. They just remember who you are because of the integration with Google and Apple. Suddenly you remember every time you pay, given the downside of this is you have to pay with Google Wallet or Apple Wallet. But
lots of people are doing that. So that's cool.
Doing that. And lots of young people are doing that. So this is, I think, a strategy that we've talked to essentially, especially with a lot of our brands who are focusing on Gen Z, Gen X, even millennials, et cetera. Lots of people want to pay with their phone or just pay with their watch. I talked to someone yesterday who said they don't even take their phone anymore when they go to restaurants. They can literally put their watch up to the thing and it pays. So we're moving further and further away from requiring a wallet, requiring a card. So we're just exploring. Our biggest thing at vLoyalty is flexibility. We want to give people the option to pay how they want, to be tracked how they want, and to even get the rewards they want, to be able to redeem for different things than just points or dollars or that sort of thing.
True. So I think customer choice is what it's all about. Seamless is what it's all about. You've hit on a lot of key points. Peter, thank you so much for your time. I greatly appreciate it. I think we could talk for another half hour, but we're right past 9 minutes, so I'm going to let you go. And for those watching this, check out Peter. And you want to share what your website address is or how to get a hold of you, either your number or website address?
Sure. So, of course, you can just go to vloyalty.com. Or I'm also on LinkedIn all day long. So if you want to send me a message on LinkedIn, you should be able to find me. And I'm happy to chat with anyone who wants to, brainstorm about loyalty.
Awesome. Thanks, Peter, for your time.
Thank you.